When astronauts leave Earth for places like an asteroid or Mars, one of the things we're trying to learn is how they can grow their own food, since it's especially important that we may not be able to resupply them with food, especially things like fruits and vegetables. That's where a facility called Veggie comes in. And Veggie is already proven that you can grow lettuce in space. And now the question is it safe to eat?
The first test went pretty well. We had 3 plants that grew really well, and they were harvested on Space Station by Commander Steve Swanson when he was up there. And everybody really enjoyed growing the plants from the responses that we've heard. We did have a few issues with the watering system for Veggie, so we're actually working on trying to get those issues solved and grow some more plants for the crew.
So what did you grow, and did it grow?
So we grew red romaine lettuce the first time, and it grew, and we had 3 good-looking plants that were harvested. We were hoping to have 6 plants, and 1 never germinated at all, so we're trying to figure out what happened with that packet. I think we're growing the veggies in what we call plant pillows. They're little grow bags. And so we brought that one back to figure out why it didn't grow. And then 2 actually died because they had some water stress. But the other 3 grew fine. Commander Swanson actually watered the plants directly, and that helped to save them.
So station 2 for Veggie, the 5 other pillows worked without any problem.
That's great to hear.
So now we're figuring out why the watering system didn't perform in the way that we needed it to, and we'll be able to try it again. But it was red romaine lettuce was the first crop.
Mm-hmm. And did anyone taste it after it came back?
No. So we harvested them in June, and they were frozen on orbit because we really wanted to figure out the food safety, the microbiology of these plants, to know, are they safe for the crew to eat? There's not really an easy way to wash your vegetables in space. And so we had them frozen in Melfi in the -80 laboratory freezer on ISS, and then brought back on SpaceX 4. So we got those back around the end of October, and we were able to look at the microorganisms on the plants.
So I know you're in the middle of analyzing the lettuce that came back, but is there anything you can share with us right now that you've learned so far?
Sure. So we did preliminary food safety analysis of the microbiology, and that looked about what we would expect on station. The levels were fairly consistent. You know, they probably are low enough that the food would actually be safe for the crew to eat. So we're working right now with the Advanced Environmental Health and the food folks to get to that point. We also analyzed the plants in terms of antioxidants, anthocyanins, phenolics, and elements, and those all looked pretty similar to the ground plants. There might be some differences, but we had such a small sample number, it's a little hard to tell. We're doing some other things right now in terms of the plant pillows and doing the analysis of those, but that's still in work.
There is no up or down in space, so how do the plants know where to go?
Right.
Or grow?
I mean, it's a very good point. Plants are really interesting in that they kind of key in on different stimuli. So in the absence of gravity, the shoots grow towards the light. You know, and on Earth, shoots grow towards the light. So in Veggie, we have the lights on top, and the shoots grow up. The roots, you know, they don't know which way is up and down, but they'll tend to grow towards things like water gradients or pockets of nutrients. And they get kind of contained in those plant pillows. But one of the things that we're interested in Veggie is looking at, can we do X-ray scans of those plant pillows and see the roots and see how it's different? So that's a really interesting question, because getting that root zone right is the biggest challenge we've had so far.
Now, will this help with crop production on Earth?
Well, I mean, we're learning a lot of basic plant physiology using the space station. You know, Veggie is one thing, but we've had years of really great experiments, and we still have a lot of really great experiments going on. And we have some more hardware that's going to be going up in the next couple of years, a very high-tech plant growth chamber called the Advanced Plant Habitat, where we'll get even more really solid information on plant physiology in space. And, you know, we're also learning about building better plant growth systems. The lighting studies that we've done here on Earth, trying to figure out what's the most efficient form of electric lighting, are being used in commercial greenhouse industries now. You know, the same types of LED lighting that we're using on Veggie is going on in commercial greenhouses around the world, and in things like plant factories, vertical urban agriculture. So right there, a lot of this NASA research, you know, is kind of translating into commercial applications that help us grow healthier, you know, more efficient, more energy efficient, more labor efficient types of crop plants, you know, because we got a lot of people to feed on this planet. So anything that we can learn can, you know, hopefully translate.
So what are the types of plants you're looking at next?
So the next types of plants that we're thinking about growing are more leafy greens for the near term, because they grow more quickly, and they're something that the crew might be able to eat as a salad in the next year or so, and that would be ideal. So we're looking at like small Chinese cabbages and other varieties of leafy greens that would taste good, be nutritious, and grow well. And then a little farther out, we're starting to look at dwarf peppers and dwarf tomatoes, because we want these other components of the salad system. You know, a salad is not just lettuce, so it'll be nice to have that variety as well.
And in case you're wondering, the lights are purple. They look a little pink, but red plus blue LEDs equals purple, because plants need those kind of wavelengths to grow. Now, plants are green because they reflect most of the green light, but absorb the red and blue. So there are some green LEDs in the Veggie as well, and that's really to make the plants look green, and that's really for the crew and not really the plants. The astronauts really apparently seem to like the purple lights. They've taken a ton of photos with just the lights off in the Columbus module, and the Veggie, as you can see in this photo, well, looks like a disco.